Hi everyone, welcome to the class of Marketing Analytics. I am Dr. Amir Rahman, Associate Professor in School of Business, Galgotia University. And in this session, I will be covering a topic, Introduction to Marketing Analytics. The prerequisites for this uh, course as well as this topic is that you should have a basic knowledge of marketing as well as you must have a basic knowledge of statistics. The topics that I'll be covering in this session are basic concept of analytics, analytics meaning, types of marketing analytics, and components of marketing analytics. Objectives are that the students will be able to understand the basic concept of analytics as well as uh, specifically marketing analytics. The students will be able to understand the types of marketing analytics as well as the components of marketing analytics. So nowadays, analytics is the buzzword in the business world, and now this is a world where the decisions are being made on the basis of certain data. So we are living in a world that is data driven, and specifically we are living in the industry where the decisions are now going to be developed on the basis of the previous data. So data will give you after processing the data, you will get a lot of information and insights. After that, a manager can develop appropriate strategies. They can make appropriate decisions. Earlier, also the decisions were being made, but it was on the basis of gut feeling or some managerial experience. But now, everything is very much fine. Now, on the basis of past data, you can predict uh, what will be the future demand or what will be the future sales or which customers will move out of these organizations or which customers will remain for a long term in the organization. So as shown in the slide, there is a definition of analytics. So what is analytics? So this is a definition from a very standard book, and analytics is the use of data, information technology, statistical analysis, quantitative methods, and mathematical or computer-based models to help managers gain improved insight about their business operations and make better fact-based decisions. So analytics use the data. The data is the input for any analytics process. So there can be metric data as well as there can be non-metric data. There can be numeric data, there can be non-numeric data. The data can be in the form of numbers, in the form of text, in the form of images. So only numbers are not the data for the analytics. We have text analytics where you use the words as an input and words are considered to be the data. It's the use of IT. We use a lot of softwares. So definitely we use a lot of information technology. Whenever you say analytics, basically you say something about softwares. Without softwares, there is no meaning of analytics. That's why analytics occurred in the past decade and now it is gaining momentum. So it's the use of a lot of statistical tools as well as the quantitative methods or the operational research methods. And all these things help our managers to gain insights. So there is something more on analytics. So it's about using tools and techniques that turn data into meaningful business insights. So here you can say there are a lot of data coming from multiple sources, and there are tools and techniques that converts all this data into the business insight, and it helps a manager to make correct decisions. So there is something more on the basic concepts of analytics. Here, you should know what is data. So data is raw facts and figures, unorganized and useless on its own. So for example, if you get daily temperature in Delhi, so today we can get daily temperature, tomorrow we can get daily temperature, Delhi's temperature. So previous days also we can get the Delhi's temperature, but if we have only the temperatures of different days, and until unless it is not processed, it is of not use, no use. So when this particular data is processed and organized, so it gives some meaning to the data. So after processing, we can get the average monthly temperature in Delhi, and we can say that okay, like in these summers, uh, the summers are really hot and the temperature is increasing overall. Insight is a clear and deep understanding of something. We get the information, okay, the temperature is increasing over the past few months or few years. But insight is that when we get something very significant, we get significant information, and where the government or the authorities or any organizations need to make some decision, need to take some action. So there is an example related to the uh, daily temperature in Delhi. So if we get insight in the form of like average temperature during summer in Delhi increased significantly over the last 5 years. The temperature was increasing in summers, but it increased significantly. So now the government has to take some action because this is not good for the health of the public. This is not good for the health of any city, any publics. It will have very severe health problems. So the government need to take some actions. When the temperature was increasing significantly, the government found that the pollution level is high. That's why the temperature is increasing, and that's why they try to cut down on the pollution, as well as there are some other measures that government took. So that is the on the basis of some data, on the basis of the insight. When the data was converted into insight, and we found that the Delhi's temperature was increased significantly over the last 5 years. Then over the last 5 years, what happened such that it increased significantly? So these were some basic concepts about the data, information, and insight. There is another term that is called big data, and that's why analytics is being used. So big data is the big size of the data that is of high volume, where the velocity means that data is coming at a very high speed. So all the analytics softwares, they are uh, made to deal with big data. Now your website, if you have websites, if you have social media sites, if you have uh, other softwares, ERP related softwares, it will give you millions of bytes of data every day, and you need to process it, and you need to gain some insight from all these data, all the daily data. Uh, Now we come to what is the meaning of marketing analytics. In a very simple term, marketing analytics is basically the application of analytics in the marketing domain. So there is a definition that has been mentioned on the slide, that marketing analytics is the process of identifying metrics that are valid indicators of marketing's performance in pursuit of its objectives, tracking those metrics over time and using the results to improve how metrics does its work. Your metrics are basically some measures on the basis of which you can say about the performance of some activities or the process. There are different types of marketing analytics. One is the descriptive analytics, another one is predictive analytics, and the third one is prescriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics simply answers the question, what has happened? What happened? So it uses data to understand present and past. Basically, on the basis of past data, you can say, okay, whether what was the average monthly purchase of customers, of each customers? What was the average revenue per user? So all this type of analytics, if it is giving this type of information, it will come under descriptive analytics. You want to understand which proportion of your customers are of high value to your organization or low value to your organizations. Means it will tell you about the who are the customers, which percentage of customers are very much loyal, which percentage of customers are moderately loyal, or which proportion of customers are disloyal. So this type of information, if you are getting, so this is uh, basically this will come under descriptive analytics, the output of all this descriptive analytics process. Predictive analytics answers the question what could happen in future based on previous trends and patterns. It analyzes past performance to predict the future. So if you have certain price, you have data on the price and the demand. So you can predict that if you increase the price to from rupees 10 to rupees 12, then what will be the demand in future? You can predict the demand in future if the price is rupees 12 in place of rupees 10. Prescriptive analytics is the advanced level of analytics. That it answers question: what should the business do? What actions the business must take so as to improve the performance of the business. So it uses various optimization techniques. In our class, in the upcoming classes, I will tell you about some optimization techniques, some linear programming problem models we shall solve. We shall solve some problems related to maximization as well as minimization. Components of marketing analytics is another topic that will be covered in this session. And there are four key components of marketing analytics. One is input and output. Here input is the data and output is after processing the data you get insights that helps a manager to make appropriate or better decisions or accurate decisions, good decisions. Steps is another component. As you know, marketing analytics is a process and it has a sequence of steps that starts from developing first marketing analytics goal. You have to first define your goal. What do you want to achieve? What problem you would like to solve? And it ends with improving improving the performance, the marketing performance. Tools and technology is the third key component. Here we use a lot of statistical tools. We use a lot of softwares that comes under the information technologies, and that helps us to process the data, to gain insights from the data. People is the fourth component. Definitely, whatever we create, what type of data we need. So all the decisions are being made by some people that are managing the marketing analytics softwares or the marketing analytics process. So these are the four key components. This slide shows the reference books. These are the books from where I have taken the content. The book authored by Michael Grigsby. And you can also go and see these books. You can refer these books for more knowledge, more insight into this marketing analytics. So I hope you have enjoyed the session, and thank you to all of you.